Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Denver Broncos versus New York Jets Week 14 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you are new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So checking out this game between the Broncos and the Jets. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data is the basics. Essentially looks at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams is doing based on various statistical points, which are in the description in terms of the terms and definitions are there. Now, when you get to this game, most of the data favors the Jets, which shouldn't be very surprising because the Broncos have been playing not so good. Not the best year to be a Broncos fan, of course, but let's get into some reasons why. First off, when it comes to the Jets just have a better turnover ratio. The Jets do not turn over the football as much as the Broncos do. If there's one pet peeve, if there's one major thing that has really held back this Broncos team, it's too many turnovers. Way too many turnovers. So that's definitely an area where they need to improve next year. They cannot have this many turnovers in the future. So a lot of that deals with the quarterback, a lot of that deals with the offensive breakdowns, but ultimately they can't continue this next year. I know we're already looking towards next year, but I'm just pointing that out as a mental note to put down, jot down, and think about for the future. Then of course you get to sack percentage. Between the Broncos and the Jets. In this particular area, the Broncos are actually favored. However, offensive score percentage more so favors the Jets. What's the most important statistic here on offense that matters the most in winning football games? The ability to put points on the board. And the Jets just do that a lot better than the Broncos. As a result, that's also why they're kind of heavily favored. On top of that, defensively speaking, the Jets also kind of have the better defense in many respects. Defensive offensive score percentage favors the Jets. They don't allow as many points as the Broncos do. The Jets also create more turnovers. The Broncos create more sacks, but the Jets create more interceptions. Neither one of these defenses is above average or amazing in particular as a whole, but the Jets just have the better defense. So, I mean, that's a basic way to kind of put it, is because of their ability to prevent points, create turnovers, and create interceptions. All that stuff collectively just kind of gives them the bump here. Now, when you get to special teams, the Broncos actually start to have some wins. They have better punt return yardage. They have better kick return yardage. Defensive punt return yardage favors the Broncos as well. Defensive kick return yardage favors the Jets. Field goal percentage favors the Jets. So in many respects, I think the Jets will have success because of that. Then, of course, you get extra point percentage where the Jets are also favored, and punting average is also where the Jets are favored. Again, the most important statistic to pay attention to out of all the statistics I just rattled off about special teams is field goal percentage. It's the most relevant. It's the most predictive per se. It matters the most to winning football games from a consistent basis. If you have an above average field goal percentage, you're more likely to win more football games. And that is something that the Jets have that the Broncos do not have, which could also explain why the Broncos have not won a lot of football games. So, but ultimately, the Jets just have it in all three phases. They have the better offense, the better defense, and the better special teams. Now, when you get to some other matchups, so looking at micro matchups, down and distance data, situational football, all that other kind of stuff. In terms of the Broncos offense versus the Jets defense, when it comes to completion percentage data, the Jets are favored on first, second, and third down. So I think the Jets will have a lot of success because of these particular areas here. And then, of course, we get to the Jets offense versus Broncos defense when it comes to completion percentage, and the Jets again, have it in terms of second down and third down. The only main down where I think the Broncos might be able to put up a fight is first down, but as you can clearly see, the Broncos passing D when it comes to completion percentage has not really held up the bargain. You know, they've been slipping. They've been slipping for the most part. Then, of course, we get to rushing down. So this basically deals with the ability to convert first downs with the run in various downs and distances. This has nothing to do with yardage. This has nothing to do with explosive plays. That has to do with the ability to create first downs in various downs and distances. If it is 3rd and 2, for example, and you run the football, how often are you getting that first down? That's essentially what this deals with. Like, that's the purpose of this. And when you look at this particular area, the Jets are favored on first and second down. So the Jets defense, I think, probably will show up pretty well in terms of stifling the Broncos run defense. So definitely something to kind of worry about potentially in this game. And then, of course, you get to the Jets offense versus the Broncos defense, where the Broncos are favored on second and third down as well. So rushing is not something I think is going to happen that much in this game. Like, I think both of these defenses are going to have a lot of success in terms of preventing first downs from happening with the run. So that's definitely something to kind of think about in this game. Then we get to passing downs between the Broncos offense and the Jets defense. In this particular area, the Jets are favored on second and third down, which again underscores the fact that the Broncos offense, the passing offense in particular, has been downright dreadful this year. And as you can clearly see, just not a lot of success on any down and distance. They're not even above average on any one particular down. So definitely an issue here. And then, of course, we get to the Jets offense versus the Broncos defense when it comes to passing yards. In this particular area, the Jets are favored on first and third down when it comes to those particular areas. So I think the Jets will have success passing the football in this game. I know it's the Broncos defense, but again, as you've seen in those other points, the Broncos have been slipping this year on defense, especially when it comes to their passing D. So that's definitely an area to kind of worry about in the future. Then, of course, we get to sack rate between the Broncos offense and the Jets defense, where the Jets are favored on first and second down. So definitely another sort of area to kind of consider is the Jets probably might get some sacks in this game, which they don't usually do, but because it's the Broncos, I think it's more likely because of that. Then we get to the Jets offense versus the Broncos defense when it comes to sacks, and the big down and distance to watch is third down. That's the major down where the Broncos have a lot of success in terms of getting sacks. It's also a crucial down and distance. You know, getting sacks on third down definitely can alter the results of football games. And because of that, I think you could easily see that that's why the Broncos, you know, that could be something to kind of think about in this game is the ability to alter football games, and that's one area where they can possibly do it. Then we get to interception ratio between the Broncos offense and the Jets defense. This particular area, the Jets defense, is favored on second and third down. So again, both those downs and distances, I think the Jets should have some success here because of those other sort of factors. Then we get to the Jets offense versus Broncos defense when it comes to interceptions as a final note. And in this particular area, the Jets are favored on first, second, and third down. I do not see a lot of interceptions coming for the Jets because of how poor the Broncos have been in terms of generating turnovers and interceptions in particular. So overall, what are my general feelings about this game? Well, I think it's a Jets victory. I think the Jets consistently have played well this year. Offensively, they have advantages. Defensively, they have advantages. And, of course, special teams-wise, they have advantages. The Broncos are just not in a position to where I see any positives to point towards a victory for them. And as a result, I just have to go Jets here. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you believe is going to win this football game? And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.